Welcome to the second level of Stonekeep. This one's going to be quite a bit longer than the first one. But first, a strange encounter.
Greetings. I am the Great Wahuka. Or, if you prefer, Wahuka the Great.
Uh-huh.
Come closer. Closer. I will not bite you.
Guess I'll just risk it.
Greetings. I am the king of all goblins and fairies. You shall pay homage to me.
Hello, Wahuka. I've never seen anything like you before. What are you?
Fool. I am Wahuka the Great. Watch and learn. Pay attention to me.
How'd you do that?
Bah, you know nothing, but I can teach you. Return here with a precious offering, and I will share some of my infinite knowledge with you.
Okay, goodbye. Yeah, so that's Wahuka. We'll be seeing quite a lot more of him. But first, let's check out this room. I don't like that sound. Yeah, it's a snake. Snakes are particularly unpleasant enemies because they have the habit of sometimes poisoning you. Poison does a bit of lingering damage even after you've defeated them. It's not that much, but you have to be careful. If your health is particularly low, it can get very nasty. And here on the ground I find a dart, which is a slightly inferior version of the arrows. I'll mostly be sticking to my arrows, at least. At the end of this winding corridor, a slime appears. Slimes are tricky enemies to fight because once they get up close, as you can see, they're very hard to target. Only when they rear up to slap you do you really get a chance to hurt them. Crushing weapons like the one I'm holding in my hands right now aren't actually that useful against slimes. They take more damage from piercing weapons or fire-based attacks. Oh, and here I find a gem, which I'm sure Wahuka will appreciate. Another gem? I'd better make sure I have a stash of them before I return to Wahuka. Moving on. Yes, and I hear the hissing of more snakes. Let's put these arrows to use. Oh dear, this is not good. Yeah, I've just been poisoned and I'm nearly dead. Better hurry up. Right now I don't have anything to deal with this poison, but it only does a little bit of extra damage, so I'll just sick it out. A pair of snakes like this makes for very serious enemies. Which is why it's usually smarter to deal with them from afar with some arrows. Snakes are hurt pretty bad by piercing weapons. But looks like they're hurt pretty bad by any weapon, really. Just top myself off a bit before I proceed. Didn't drop any arrows there. And in the wall here is a pipe, a snake pipe. Now if I disturb the dirt in front of it, a pair of snakes will crawl out. I take care of them because I'm not quite sure at this point if maybe there's something lying in the pile of dirt. But there isn't, so time to escape this room. Oh, I gained extra points for axe and hammer, apparently. Nice. Here's a locked room, and I haven't found any keys on this level yet, of course, so I won't be able to open it just yet. Let's just move on. Up ahead in this fork in the road, there's a bunch of Shargas standing guard. The Shargas on this level are considerably stronger than the ones I encountered on the first one. These are more along the lines of Gurthik and Shax, the bosses of level 1, really. Though they do still take quite a bit of damage from arrows. As you can see, it really makes it a little bit too easy. Let's see what's in the corner they were guarding.
Sewer access.
Sewers, yeah. Stonekeep has a sewer level, and I'm gonna have to go into it. But not until I find the right key. Let's take care of the Sharga standing guard in the other passage. As you'll have noticed, some of the enemies in Stonekeep are sprites made from 3D animations, but a lot of them are also portrayed by actors in costume like the Shargas and Wahuka. The team working on Stonekeep at first tried to do the green screening for the enemies themselves, only they kinda screwed up. Instead of doing it in an actual studio with controlled lighting, they simply started filming outside in the sunlight. And if you have any idea how green screening works, you'll know that you need constant lighting in order to be able to easily remove the background later. So they couldn't use that footage, had to scrap a lot of work, and ended up having a professional studio do it all over again. It's things like that that kind of make you realize why the project took so long and why it cost so much money, apparently. Well, took care of that ambush of Shargas. And I just find a couple more darts here. Nothing too shocking. Let us press on then. This long winding room seems at first to be entirely empty, until you get to the end and turn around. Nothing happens yet, but when I step onto this tile, an ambush of Shargas appears. Let's try and take care of them quick. No luck there. I'm pretty sure that these Shargas are one of the few instances in Stonekeep where a bunch of enemies are spawned out of thin air. Usually they'd be in a secret room or something. And there is one thing of interest in this room, another gem hidden behind this brick. I'll need about 6 gems in order to deal with Wahuka later. So let's just keep looking for those. Oh, and yet another ambush of Shargas. Plenty of those guys on this level. God bless arrows. It may seem a little like cheating, me using these arrows all the time, but I can assure you that from test runs I know that if I'd be using my weapons against them the whole time, this update would be much longer, and about half of it would be spent listening to Drake's gross eating noises. Oh dear, more snakes. I want to preserve my oil bottles for now. It's arrows for you guys. And sorting through the hay here, which hides another gem, causes the snake pipe in the wall to start spewing out snakes. No point in me staying, so let's get the hell out of here. And we have a series of rooms which are all locked down, except for the last one, which has a slime in it. See if we can take care of it without actually stepping into the room. Well, that scared him into cowering into the back of the room. Come on, throw it. Don't put it down, throw it. Ah, there we go. And he drops a key, an ivory key. That'll let me unlock quite a few doors on this level. And in this sack of grain, yet another gem. I've started quite a collection of those now. Alright, let's unlock the next room. Hear that peculiar sound? Let's see what's making it.
Greetings, human. I am Farley Malistone of the Chakra clan.
Well met, Farley. I am Drake. How were you locked in this room?
I was exploring these ruins against the wishes of my elders, looking for my brother, Damber, and his party. Lost a season ago. Have you seen him?
Alas, I have not.
I will find him. During my search, I was looking in this room when I was hit from behind. Before I could recover, the door was locked. I heard Throgish voices in the distance.
Froggish?
Throgs are underground dwellers of a dark nature, along with their brethren, the Shargus, mortal enemies of my clan. I have split many a Throg's skull with my axe. It is their way to hit a noble warrior from behind.
If they are around, we should journey together for safety.
Aye, that is wise. You have saved my life. As my people say, I have debt to pay, and paid it shall be. Take this sword. It is of good dwarven steel, and will serve you with honor.
Sweet! Behold Farley Malistone, our first companion. He's gonna be a big help. Companions can use a few specific weapon types. In Farley's case, he's best with a hammer, but he can also use an axe and hold a shield. He can't, for instance, use a sword or a dagger. I won't have to perform his attacks for him like in some other RPGs. He will simply attack when there's an enemy on the screen. Other than that, his greatest advantage is absorbing damage, which would otherwise strike Drake. I'm gonna give him a hammer, since he's better at using that than his axe. And I'm gonna give him this metal shield to protect both of us. I'm also gonna steal his chainmail armor because, well, it's better than Drake's leather armor. And it's much more important that Drake stays alive than that Farley does. The thing about companions is they cannot actually die. Once their health reaches 0, they fall unconscious, and apparently you just drag their unconscious body along with you. At any time you can simply feed them a healing item and they will stand right up again. The dwarven sword that he gave me is actually quite an excellent weapon, so I'm gonna use that for a while. Whoops, there were some slimes hiding in these barrels. Notice Farley's hammer coming in from the side. I find another throwing axe in the rubble here. While companions provide some support in battle, they're not actually that great at hitting enemies, usually. In Farley's case, it might be because he's quite short. A lot of his blows will not actually connect, and the enemy really has to be on his side of the screen for him to be able to hit them. Well, now that I have this ivory key, I'm gonna head back to the locked door I found.
Lo, there is something wrong with the north wall. It is not made from the earth.
Well, that's interesting. Farley has another talent, and that is spotting illusionary walls which you can step through. It's not that you need him to show you where those walls are. I could have stepped through them by myself if I wanted to. But he'll point them out. In any case, I have something I want to do first. inside we find a lone Sharga, who rather suspiciously retreats when we move further into the room. Yes, it's yet another brilliant Sharga ambush. Such a neat trick deserves an arrow. This one can take more than one apparently. But no more than that. Alright. I'd better heal up a bit because I'm not in the best condition. And we'll see how Farley does against Shargas. Oh, that's a clear miss. Yeah, these darts are not really too great. And now that this Sharga moves into the center, Farley's barely able to hit him, so at least he got to soften him up a little bit. Well, let's see what's in this interesting chest over here. A chainmail shirt, nice. I can give that to Farley and upgrade his armor back. Now I'm gonna still give that illusionary wall that Farley pointed out a pass, because the ivory key also unlocks the door that leads into the sewers. And as much as I hate going in there, I'm gonna do it, because there's something I'm gonna need from down there. Oh, hold your nose.
These are the sewers of Stonekeep. It is said that the dwellers above use these caverns as a water source.
What else?
My people built a drain and dam system to maintain the water level.
That knowledge might come in useful. Watch your step.
I hate the sewers. They are big, they're hard to navigate because of the water. And there's Wahuka.
Greetings again, mortal.
What do you want this time, Wahuka?
Once again, I grant thee the key to your future in return for a small favor. Bring me the heads of 3 men long dead.
Do it yourself, Gobbo.
Bah, not in this miserable wet corner of hell.
So Wahuka wants me to bring him 3 skulls. Well, there are actually a couple of skulls hidden in the water in these sewers. But I've been picking up so many of them upstairs that I don't really need to bother. So, yeah, like I was saying, I hate the sewers. The way the walls are textured makes it really hard to see if there's any passages leading off to the side. Plus, anything that's lying on the ground you can't actually see, unless you move your mouse along the ground and see the hand cursor. I'm gonna take it out on this jittery Sharga here. Jump out of the way of my arrows, will ya? Oh, Farley's not doing well. And this sword is absolute crap against the Shargas. I don't know why I'm using it. Like I said, they're very well armored against cutting damage, and swords do cutting damage. This was not a good idea. Oh, come on! Piercing damage is a lot more useful against Shargas, so I'm just gonna grab one of my old daggers again. This is a good example of just how strong the Shargas on this level are. Huh, that's good. Now I have to fish in the water to pick out those few roots that this Sharga dropped. Not fun. Not to mention all the arrows and darts that I threw onto the ground. Rest assured that in time I will be able to drain the sewers, so that I'll be able to see everything that's lying on the ground. Whoopsie! And this one Sharga is really clinging to me. Plus he's standing on my side of the screen, which means that Farley can't do shit. Oh, these guys are tough. Every time you hear that sounds sort of like someone hitting a pan, that's one of the Sharga's sword strokes actually striking Farley's shield. Oh, I get another point of strength. It'd actually be nice if I gain a few more points of agility, because It's nice to balance out your strength and agility so your health rises faster. Come on, little guy, die. Oh, Farley bought it. And, oh, I better get him out of the water quick, because he's not going to last long this way. As you can see, just one root is enough to put him back on his feet. Not that he'll last long this way, but I don't really want to waste too many healing items on him right now. I'm going to need plenty of them myself. Hear that whistling wind? Let's see if the Orb of Afri can show us where it's coming from. Yep, there's a hidden room to the right of us. Nice. Can't really see if there's anything in there. Just a couple of roots lying on the ground. Swell. Alright, let's get back to the corridor. This area of the sewers is filled with very long corridors and shargas. There is another half of the sewers which is filled with quite different things, but we'll get around to that in time. Yeah, it's arrows for these guys again, because as I've shown, they take quite a long time to die from melee weapons. That's much better. Oh, it's very frustrating to have to look this way. I'm mainly concerned with picking up my arrows. Any other crap I'll be able to pick up later. Dead end here. Ooh, that looks big. It is big!
Master Stonegrass, that you be here! Die, Stunty!
For the record, Stunty is referring to Farley, not me. Grass is quite a big fellow and quite a strong fellow, but like all Shargas, he's pretty vulnerable to arrows. Ah, another point of agility. That's very welcome. Me getting an extra point of agility is mainly because I've started using some lighter weaponry. Every weapon in Stonekeep has a weight, and as long as this weight factor does not outweigh your strength factor, using it will eventually raise your agility stat. Using heavy weapons will eventually raise your strength stat.
There is something odd about this wall. I believe there is a mechanism for sliding it to the right, but I don't see the controls here.
How can you tell that? Looks like a normal wall to me.
Keen dwarven senses, my friend. Keen dwarven senses.
There is a place like this in both arms of the sewer, and it connects the two parts together. But in order to open them, I'll need to find something else down here. Well, I'm nearly at the end of the sewers, at least. Let's take care of another of these annoyingly jumpy Shargas. Ooh, well, sounds like that one dropped quite a few things in the water. And that one too. Mostly it's just roots. Another one over there. And something over there. Nothing in there. Well, at least I've now killed all the Shargas in this area. Oh, what have we here? It's a metal cylinder. Well, let's bring it along. We'll find out later if it has any purpose. I'm done in this area of the sewers. Can't do anything else right now. So let's just roll back and meet Wahuka along the way. Then we'll go back upstairs and have a look at what's behind that illusionary wall that Farley found.
Give them to me. Give them now.
Alright, let's give him his skulls. Yeah, I got plenty of those.
Ah, finally. Here you go.
And he gives us a triangular key, as the journal describes this. Well, we'll have to see if we find any locks that this key fits. For now, let's get back on dry land. Alright, let's see what's behind that wall. Completely new area. And the slime crawls closer. Let's hit it before it gets too close. It's a wimpy slime. Slimes have some pretty interesting behaviors. Other than the fact that they will sometimes try to run away after you hit them. Sometimes they'll also split in two, especially if you attack them with a fire attack. Oh, this one dropped a gem. They will also sometimes absorb items lying on the ground and only relinquish them after you kill them. Well, I don't need these leather pants anymore. Nothing else of interest in here. Moving on. There's two places where you can meet Wahuka in this level, and this is the second one.
Well, do you have something for me?
Alright, let's give the greedy goblin something precious. Maybe he'd like this orb.
No, I cannot take that.
Oh, he does not? Well, maybe he'd like this shiny key.
Bah, what do I want with that?
He does not. Well, let's just give him these dusty old gems then.
Watch out for traps. The shamans of the Throgs set many of them around here, hoping to stick a couple of dwarves.
That's really just a warning, not very helpful advice.
More. You must give me more.
And every clue costs one more gem than the last one.
Search the sewers below for the key to the Underlands.
Well, that is actually useful advice. This time he'll want 3 gems.
More. You must give me more.
Yeah, keep your pants on.
More. You must give me
You
more.
greedy little asshole. Fine.
To succeed in your quest, you must find all of the orbs.
And that's also some useful advice.
Bah! Return when you have something to give me.
I will not, because he has given me all the advice he can. If I give him any more gems, he will just keep saying, "More, you must give me more," and not give me any more advice. This door leads back to the first level, so let's turn around. As Wahuka said, to succeed in the quest we must find all of the orbs. We already have 1, and there's a total of 9 to be collected. Another door yields to the ivory key, and there's more slime behind it. Not very tough slime, though. Oh, and he was holding 2 bottles. That's pretty good. Smashing his furniture, I find a scroll.
Interesting.
This actually is pretty interesting because it refers to drain switch cylinders, and I did find a cylinder in the sewers. Apparently they're part of the mechanism that can drain the sewers. Now I just need to find a place where I can use them. Alright. Hey, a switch in the wall. What happens when we press it? a wall opens behind us and releases a slime. Oh dear, that didn't go as planned. And more slime comes from around the corner. Seems like I'm very popular today with the slimes. Oh, as you can see, arrows are so much better to use against them than melee weapons. You little coward, come back here. Come back and fight like a slime. Oh! As you can see, I did not throw an oil bottle, but Farley did. Dwarves have the rather random behavior of sometimes doing that. It's unfortunate you can't make them do it. At the end of this long corridor that I unlocked, I find a chest with some more potions in it. As is the tradition. I'm not complaining, I can use them. Do I go left or do I go right? Guess I'll go left. Oh, company. Tough little Sharga here. Who likes to throw rocks in my face? This guy is actually very tough. He doesn't look like much, but he can take a lot of punishment. And dish out quite a lot too. Jerk. Let's grab all his rocks. Wow, I'm not doing too well. Sorry, Farley, none for you right now. I need to conserve my healing items. Another fork in the road. But a lock in the wall. I get a chance to use my ivory key. Whoops, didn't mean to throw that. I'm not actually going to proceed down that little corridor I just opened to the right. Because at the end of it, there's yet another lock and I don't have the key for that.
Mage's study. Do not enter.
But that does sound very promising though, Mage's study. Make a mental note to come back there later. Yet more Shargas hiding around the corner. Sneaky. Come on, guys. Ooh, these are some big Shargas. And that asshole to the right just ate one of his healing items. Could've used that. Shargas are so selfish. One of them dropped an oil bottle. Huh. Don't see that happening a lot. I feel kinda bad for Farley having to stand there while Drake eats up all his roots. And this chest here is empty. It's just supposed to lure you into an ambush with the Shargas.
Lo, there is something wrong with the north wall. It is not made from the earth.
Another illusionary wall, but one which I've already seen the other end of. So no point in going through it really. But it will make for a nice shortcut later. Right, well, I'm not gonna go down this path just yet, so let's track back a little. And proceed down the other way. Whoops, Sharga was gonna hit us from a tile away. And Farley buys it again. Great. Have a snack, Farley. Back on your feet. Seems like with these Shargas, it's the little guys that hit the hardest. Oh well. Oh, it's a very conspicuous pit, but there is a button on the other side, which you can pretty much only hit with darts. They're the only weapon that you can throw high enough in order to hit the button. Of course, for this LP, it might be actually nice to show what happens when you fall down the pit. Well, Farley falls unconscious again for one. Come on, guy. Seems like we're stuck in here, but there's actually a lever hidden behind this brick, which opens the way behind us, leading to a ladder. A very strange, steampunky ladder. And on the ground we find another quarterstaff, which we really don't need. And we can open the wall behind us to lead us back into the corridor. Better close this pit so I don't fall into it a second time. And I hear unpleasant noises from the corridor beyond. Yep, it's more slimes. Alright. You guys hungry for arrows? Next guy. Oh, he fled, apparently. Where are you? Gone? Okay. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he accidentally glitched into that room with the ladder. Sneaky Sharga hidden around the corner here. One who really likes tossing shit in my face. And eating his roots. Wow, me and Farley are not doing well. Of course, the arrows make it quite manageable. I'm gonna go back to my sword again for a bit. Oh, this ivory key actually does not fit on this lock, and neither does the triangular key, so let's just come back here later if we find another key. What's in here? It's deceptively quiet. Nothing at all, really. Yeah. Oh, green gem. Which is an absolutely useless item by now, by the way. Well, nothing else in this room, much as I try to look around a bit, but let's just keep going. And sneakily hidden in the wall here, a scroll.
This rune is the key to greater power when used in combination with another rune. It is useless without a base rune.
Well, well. What I found here is a magical rune. And I'm just gonna put this scroll back and wait with telling you about it until I find some more items so I can actually make use of that rune. Wow, that's a lot of snakes. Had to be snakes. Yeah, I'm not going in there. At least not until I clear out the place with some oil bottles. Those snakes are small, but they will kill me and Farley in just a couple of bites. Whoops, looks like they have a big old mama. Oh dear. Well, just in time my arrows take care of her. Oh, interesting item on the ground here. This is a wine skin, and if I happen to find another health fountain like I did on the first level, I will be able to fill it with a couple of drinks. Another gem that I don't need, and a healing potion which I most definitely do need by now. Collect that last arrow. Moving on. Oh, that's the first time I've actually seen Farley use an oil bottle against a Sharga. Kinda missed its target. Ooh, hey, easy with the stones, guy. It's not like I keep throwing stuff at you guys. Oof. I'm really taking some chances here. This is not very smart. Ah, well, there he goes. There you go, Farley. Back on your feet again. I'm really not a very nice guy to my NPCs, but like I said, it's game over if Drake dies. Nobody's gonna miss Farley Malastone. Well, another door that I don't have the key for just yet, so let's just press on.
Sewer flood control.
Ah, now that sounds promising. Aha! Cylinders! Finally a chance to use that cylinder I found in the sewers. And this chest contains a chainmail skirt, which completes Farley's chainmail armor once again. Now we're equally protected. That is good. Another point of stealth. This thing doesn't do anything, but it has a circular opening which the cylinder fits into perfectly. Which allows me to press it, and which actually opens 2 doors in the sewers, and allows you to move from one arm of the sewers into the next. But there's another place that needs a cylinder, and I don't have that one just yet. Oh, and here come 3 Shargas running around the corner. Let's see if we can take them out before they reach me. No, we can't. I suck at this. Oh well. Oh, that was just unfair. These guys drop a lot of health bottles, but I'd better put those in my inventory and not use them just yet. You'll find out why in a second. This guy drops an iron key, which opens the remaining doors on this level.
Lo, there is something wrong with the north wall. It is not made from the earth.
Again, a wall that actually leads through to an area of this level that I've already been in, which makes it another helpful shortcut.
Fountain of Thera.
Oh, hell yes, this is very welcome. Tasty health water. And as you can see, Farley's health is actually slightly higher than mine. I can fill this wineskin with 5 drinks from the fountain, which will actually heal quite a bit when I use it. It's unfortunate that there's not that many health fountains in the game.
Well, you are getting closer to your destiny. Come closer still, and let us talk.
Do we have to? Alright.
Beyond this door are the sewers of Stonekeep.
Is it dangerous?
What should it matter to you? You are already dead.
What if this door is locked?
Then this clue is for free. The remains of the tusk shall unbar your way.
Well, obviously that is the ivory key, and I already have that. And apparently the game assumes that this is the first door to the sewers you actually find. Doesn't really matter, but before I go down into this other area of the sewers, I'm gonna stay on this level and unlock the doors that require the iron key, because that will finish me up on this level entirely, allowing me to focus on the sewers. That way I won't have to do a lot of annoying backtracking later on, not to mention the fact that it will allow me to pick up some powerful weapons here, which I will really need in the sewers. Whoa, there's a whole family of slimes in this room. Well, there's not going to be much left of you guys. Aw, he fled into the corner. I kinda don't want to kill him, but I'm going to. Come back here. Okay, we'll take it up close. Collect my thrown arrows. Well, there's not much in these rooms. Old furniture. Nothing in this pile of hay. Really? 3 slimes and nothing, no treasure or anything? Aha! Yep, it's another hidden lever that leads to a room with a chest. Which of course contains some inevitable potions. And some more of those useless gems. Oh, but this one has blue gems, which are just as useless pretty much. There's only one more spot in a game where these gems will actually have any use, which does not really excuse the amount of them I'm gonna find before then. Apparently the designers like to throw them around to make it seem as if we were collecting treasure, but they could have given a use to it. More unfriendly slime in the corridor. Eat fire! Oh, that missed them. Back to arrows? Oh dear, this is not going well. No, this is not going well at all. Since slimes are so close to the ground, you will very easily simply put an arrow down on the floor instead of actually throwing it. Luckily, Farley saves me with his oil bottle throwing skills.
Whoever shall read these words, take heed. It has only been hours since the fall of Stonekeep. The front door and all portals to the outside have been barred with stone.
Well, this is pretty interesting, because apparently there were still some people alive in Stonekeep when it was sunk beneath the ground. I guess maybe they were protected by the mages of Stonekeep.
I nearly perished in the attack, but foul fortune has kept me alive. Others so unfortunate attempted to escape through the sewers. I heard their screams and then all was silent. I think something is moving down there.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very encouraging to go into the sewers, I can tell you. Oh, in this chest we find a key ring, which allows you to put all the keys you find in the entire game on it, so that you only have to use the key ring on any new locks you find in the game to see if you have the right key for it. That saves a lot of frustration. Fun little fact about that scroll I just found. As a kid, when my English wasn't that good yet, I actually thought that Foul Fortune was a name, so that whoever wrote that scroll was saved by a guy named Foul Fortune. Yeah, I know, I was an idiot. I can tell you one thing though, the first time you're playing this game and you read that scroll, it's not gonna make you very eager to go into the sewers. But there's one more place I have to explore before actually going there. The Mage's Study. Right here. See this conspicuous stone? Let's try putting something heavy on it, like Farley's hammer. Yup, arrow trap. There's a series of these in the corridors ahead, and each has 2 charges of 3 arrows. So it's just a matter of patience, collecting the very useful arrows, and proceeding with care. Alright, just a couple more. Believe me, this will be worth it.
If you've come this far, you've come too far. Vicarious.
Yeah, well, you can't do anything to us anymore. Aside from perhaps leaving behind a slime for us to face. I don't know. Yeah, but this cowardly slime is on his way back. Oh, no, he's not. Luckily, 1 arrow was enough to deal with him. Wanna see what happened to your friend? Same thing that's gonna happen to you, see? Did they drop anything? Most definitely yes. This little guy dropped a rune staff, which is another thing I need in order to start casting magic. Before we get around to that, I need to find something to fill up these empty spaces on the rune staff. Let's check out some scrolls.
With the addition of the mana circle to my studies, I can proceed with my experiments into the source of magical energies. How do these circles recharge mana? Must research.
Okay, we'll get to that one in a second.
Use this rune to ignite the fire. Do not point this magic at someone, as it can be very dangerous. Then, take the pot with...
I assume it's supposed to say, take the pot with oil, referring to the oil bottles that you can throw. But I think I will be pointing this magic at someone. Several people, in fact.
The use of this rune can help minor wounds of the flesh. restore the dead to life. True healers help all, regardless of race or faith.
And this is a straightforward healing rune, which will heal damage. Alright, let's get to inscribing some runes on my pretty new rune staff. Right, so I'll just give these some names in my journal. Take out the rune staff and inscribe them on it. And obviously you can overwrite these runes at any time that you want. I'll start by healing myself via the mirror. And here's how the fireball rune works. Pretty nifty. Now of course, in most games your character gets a mana bar. In Stonekeep, your mana is stored within the rune staff itself. So every staff you'll find will have its charge. This rune staff has a maximum of 25 charges, and how much are consumed depends on the spell you use and the amount of skill and magic you've got.
Send Orson payment for the mana circle.
Stepping into one of these green mana circles will automatically recharge all the rune staffs in your property. So, mana circles are very important places to remember. Alright, now let's talk meta runes. I found a hidden rune scroll behind a brick in the corridor earlier, which consisted just of 2 dots. This is a meta rune, and you can basically see it as an accent on an existing rune. In this case, it's a power 2 rune, and it doubles the power output of the rune you use it on. It also doubles the mana cost, so you have to be careful with it. Pretty nice. Now, when I started this LP, I promised myself I wasn't going to do any grinding, but in this case, I'm going to make an exception for the magic skill. The reason for this is because if my magic skill is maxed out, I'll have to spend a lot less time backtracking to mana circles in order to recharge my magic. Plus I'll be able to show off all the nifty spells that Stonekeep has to offer. Now the thing with the Firebolt rune is that it doesn't matter whether it strikes an enemy or a destructible object or just a wall, it will always count as a solid hit, which means that it provides you with a bit of experience. So basically you can just keep shooting the walls and your magic skill will gradually increase. So, as I've shown you, I have 5 points of magic, I am completely powered up, ready to head into the sewers and face whatever horror awaits me there. I'm now completely done on this level, so I won't have to come back here. And I can take a few shortcuts through the illusionary walls to save time. I playtested this level several times before I actually did this recording, and one complete recording of this level, which was an hour and a half long, I totally scrapped because I did more backtracking between this level and the sewers, and it was pretty annoying. I've tried to find the most efficient route to take for this level, and that's this one. This arm of the sewers is filled not with Shargus, but with snakes. Water snakes to be exact, and they are very annoying. I am very happy to have magic with me this time. Last time I played this level I was dealing with them with arrows and melee weapons, and it's not fun. You get poisoned all the time, these snakes pop out of nowhere and will respawn gradually. Oh, this is so nice. I'm a little paranoid in the sewers because of these water snakes. Also, this arm of the sewers is filled more with winding corridors instead of the long paths that the Sharga arm of the sewers had. The sewers are really big enough to count as a level on its own. But the reason I did the level 2 and the sewers in one video is basically because you have to travel back and forth between them. And in my play experience, they really just make up one level together. Oh, I hear the soft pitter-patter of snake feet. so many snakes. As you can see, if you fire off a magic spell when a snake is really close to you, you actually take some damage yourself. This is because the firebolts cause a bit of splash damage, which reflects back on you, unfortunately. And the power 2 rune doesn't really help at that. Wow, that's a lot of snakes. Oh, and this is not a good idea. Yeah, poison. I'd better have a few drinks to take care of myself. As you can see, the green gem on the rune staff gradually darkens as the amount of mana you have decreases. You can also check in the mirror just how many mana points your rune staff still has. At the end of this winding corridor is an inconspicuous tile which will spawn new snakes after you kill them. And on the ground here I find a bag to hold my throwing darts. You can put that in your hand and then just throw darts without having to manually select them from your inventory. It's absolutely useless and I'm not going to use it at all, just like the stone bag. Well, my rune staff ran out of charges, so I have no choice but to switch to melee weapons. Not fun. Luckily, I've nearly dealt with all the snakes I find here. Dead end over here. A little way back, and there's a side corridor. Over here, there luckily are no snakes. Unfortunately, there is something else. Underwater slime. Slightly worse than regular slime, especially because they deal you some extraordinarily hard slaps. Since they're underwater like this, it is pretty much impossible to throw stuff at them. Melee weapons are pretty much your only choice. I'd better use a dagger because this axe is really not very good against them. Oh! And we find the second cylinder, which is exactly what we need to drain the sewers. Awesome. And at the end of this corridor, I find a hidden mana circle under the water. Awesome. Now I can heal Farley and myself. And then recharge the staff again, so I'll be able to use some fire magic again. See if there's any more slimes left. I hear them. Yep, there they are. Unfortunately, it's still impossible to hit them with the firebolts. Ooh, it's like 3 of them. Oh no. Firebolts are actually connecting. Pretty cool. At least these slimes do not respawn. And it's gonna be a while before the snakes start respawning. Just heal myself up a bit more. I'm not gonna go back to the mana circle just yet. For now, let's head back into the main corridor. I have the cylinder, so I'm pretty much done in this arm of the sewers. I can go upstairs and insert it into the mechanism and drain the sewers. Oop, looks like not all of the snakes are dead just yet. Forget him. Now, I mentioned earlier that putting the first cylinder into the mechanism above and activating it caused a doorway to open between the two arms of the sewers. Oh. Before I head upstairs, I'm just gonna check what's in that little area between the sewers. This corridor leads into the other arm of the sewers. But there is something in here. Something pretty unpleasant. And there it is. Oh dear. This is a tentacle beast. Ugh. It's an... Jesus. It's an extremely strong enemy. Deals a shitload of damage and can take even more punishment. I'm absolutely not going to take it on while there's still water in the sewers, because draining the sewers will actually make it a lot weaker and easier to fight. Much as I might try, there is no way to convey in this LP just how scary it is when you first go into the sewers and are ambushed by that tentacle beast. I can't say exactly, but I'm pretty sure me and my brother both screamed the first time we saw that. Better refill my wineskin. And let's go insert the second cylinder into the mechanism. What a relief. Right. The sewers have been drained. Let's go downstairs again and see how things have changed. Ah, this is so much nicer. At least now the water snakes can't ambush you as easily. And if there's anything left lying on the ground, you can see it. I'm gonna do a quick walk through the area that I've already visited, just to make sure I haven't left anything lying on the ground. I'm actually rather lucky because it appears that the snakes have not respawned at all just yet. Huh, one dart. That was worth it. Draining it of water has also made it much easier to see where all the side corridors are.
These must be the remains of those who tried to flee Stonekeep.
Oh. Oh, another hammer. Don't really need it, but I'll bring it along anyway. I shall break these men's bones to commemorate them. This also gives me a chance to visit that mana circle again. Plenty of skulls in this part of the sewers as well. Cool, now we're fully recharged to face that tentacle beast with our fire bolts. Helmet. Really don't need it. For once, I'll try to overcome my inner pack rat and just leave it where it is. Okay, doesn't look like I really missed anything in here. Except for yet another skull. I don't think there's any more delaying it. Time to go see what that tentacled thing looks like out of the water. I can tell you now, it's not going to be a pretty sight. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Nothing in here. Rune staff out. Those who are about to die and all of that. Oh, I can hear it. Oh, Christ. It's said to follow a certain path, so there are some tiles that I can flee to if I want. And I'm gonna have to take out all 3 of its tentacles before it'll even start thinking about dying. Well, blasting it with magic isn't that fun, so I'm gonna take it on with the melee weapons first. This was a bad idea. Oh, well, there goes another one of its tentacles. Well, this isn't too bad. Oh, God, it's disgusting. Yeah, here's the thing. After you take off all of its tentacles, it still comes at you with its mouth, and even the body that remains can take a huge amount of damage. So this is not going to be easy. Not to mention the fact that it can still chew off huge chunks of your health. Jesus. Another stat increase, but that's not really important right now. Oh, Christ. I think I'm gonna have to take some distance again if I want to survive this. Oh. Oof. This is not going well. Well, my wineskin is empty. Time to go for the roots again. Jeez. Can you imagine that this fight would be even tougher if I hadn't drained the sewers? Alright, let's hit it with some more magic. It doesn't seem to be doing much. I don't hear it screaming or anything, so I don't think this magic is actually working against his body. It did quite a job on his tentacles, but the rest of him seems to be fireproof. Oh, God. Okay. Let's see how he deals with some arrows to the face. I think that one missed. Aha! That which is dead can eternally lie, apparently. And this fellow drops a little silver dragon statue. Remember that scroll I found on the first level that mentioned the silver dragon statuette? Also remember that Wahuka talked about the key of the Underlands? Well, that's this thing. Cool, we've now effectively killed everything in the sewers. Of course, until the snakes start respawning. Before I leave the sewers though, I want to at least check out the Shargo wing and make sure I haven't dropped anything useful. Plus, there is one more thing I need to do something with. Wahuka's triangle key. Still haven't found a lock that fits that yet. Well, I haven't left anything behind here. I'm so happy to be done with that tentacle beast. Nope, looks like I left a couple of arrows behind. Now, remember that little side corridor where I couldn't find anything because of the water? Well, it turns out there was a chest beneath the water level. A chest with a triangular lock. Yep, the triangular key fits on it. And inside I find a fire dagger, a scroll,
Shrink rune. Target is shrunk.
with a new rune to use, which I'll save for the next level, and an oil bottle. And a second oil bottle. Now, remember when Wahuka said that he was giving us the key to our future? Well, he wasn't exactly lying, but it's going to be a very long time until that comment pays off. In fact, it's going to be almost the end of the game when it does. For now, just try to keep it in mind. We'll see what the effects of the shrink rune are in the next level. Oh, I also left the root behind. Might as well eat it right away. Let's roll back a little further to collect more arrows that I left behind. And darts. Well, I think I've just about found everything I left on the ground. So it's time to turn around and head back into the area where I killed the tentacle beast. I'm very happy to be done with this level. Like I said, the sewers are not exactly my favorite level in the game, for various reasons. There's a few last things to pick up in this little area. If I can find them again. Yeah. Here we go. I'm a little lost here, looking for an area that I saw before. There it is. Some green mushrooms. Drake can eat these, and they will actually heal poison. Those would have been nice to have when I was dealing with the snakes. Oh well. Sure, there's plenty more chances to get poisoned in the future. Now I just have to find my way out of these sewers. In one of these little alcoves to the side. There we go. Ah, staircase leading up.
Before I was captured, I found the key to this door. Ah, here it is.
And this is how the game ensures that you actually pick up Farley before you leave this level. Unless you have him in your company, you can't actually open this door. So you do have to bring him along, you can't just leave him behind. At the end here we find a dead end and an interesting looking pedestal which looks like it might fit a certain little statue.
Lo, here is the secret path. Behold, the Underland.
The way to the next level. Alright, I'm done. See you in the next one.